just tell me, what does index tracking mean?
Yes, I mean, and this is important on index annuities, is because sometimes you get that misconception that my money's invested in some type of an index, whether it's the S&P or the Nasdaq, to name some of the most popular ones out there. But now they've even got a little bit more complicated as they add managed volatility indexes that are out there available and attached to these annuity contracts. But at the end of the day, it's important for clients to understand that none of your money is actually invested in the market. You're linked to a particular index that you and your advisor will choose together. When you're looking over the options that are available to you, you're linked to the growth of a particular index. And the most popular out there that everybody understands is the S&P 500. I tend to lean toward that a lot myself as a wholesaler, just because it is a simple index to understand, and everybody knows what that is. And you kind of start from there, and you kind of go from that start point. Is, if I'm linked to the S&P 500, what does that mean? And generally, that just means that whatever that return is to the S&P 500, your return is going to be linked to what that does. Your money will not actually be invested in there. So therefore, if that is negative, you won't go backwards. You're not going backwards.
Yeah, a couple of things there. I like how you mentioned the S&P 500, because I found that a lot of these indexes are complex, and a lot of times, I don't want to use the word made up, but I guess technically every index is just made up, really, by somebody at some point in time. But a lot of times it seems like the hot new index, that's, someone says, oh, this did 12% the last 5 years. Well, that's, it hasn't even been around for 5 years. It's just been back tested on there. So I lean towards, I would, whenever that I look at these, I like things that are simple, and S&P 500 is simple for sure. And so that's one thought. And I love exactly how you pointed out that you are not invested in the index, which gives you a couple of things. One is that if the market goes down, if that index goes down, there's often a floor at 0, so you don't lose that. But on the flip side, if you do the research, a lot of the growth in the market and the S&P 500 is from the dividends, and you don't get access to the dividends. You're just linked to the price of the S&P 500. You're not actually getting access to the dividends. So you've got to understand the kind of the pros and cons there with this index that you're going to be getting into if you have an index annuity. Like more ideas on how to make your retirement great, go ahead right now and subscribe to Retirement Revealed.